2018 when me and my brother's priests from North Pontifical College in Rome went to visit Perugia, Italy. To see the place and to experience firsthand its culture and tradition is always a treasure. To walk to their cobblestone streets and taste local food was just superb. This beautiful ancient city is the capital city of Umbria in central Italy, crossed by the river Tiber, and of the province of Perugia. The city is located about 164 kilometers or 102 miles north of Rome and 148 kilometers or 92 miles southeast of Florence. It covers a high hilltop and part of the valleys around the area. The region of Umbria is bordered by Tuscany, Lazio, and Marche. The history of Perugia goes back to the Etruscan period. Perugia was one of the main Etruscan civilization of ancient Italy from about 900 years before Christ. Perugia is also a well-known cultural and artistic center of Italy. The city hosts multiple annual festivals and events, such as the Euro Chocolate Festival in October, the Umbria Jazz Festival in July, and the International Journalism Festival in April, and is associated with multiple notable people in the arts. The city is also known as the University's town, with the University of Perugia founded in 1308, about 34,000 students, the University for Foreigners, 5,000 students, and some smaller colleges such as the Academy of Fine Arts Pietro Vannucci, Italian, Accademia di Belle Arti Pietro Vannucci, Public Athenaeum founded in 1573, the Perugia University Institute of Linguistic Mediation for Translators and Interpreters, the Music Conservatory of Perugia, founded in 1788, and other institutes. Painter Pietro Vannucci, nicknamed Perugino, was a native of Cittadella Pieve, near Perugia. He decorated the local Sala del Cambio with a series of frescoes. 8 of his pictures can also be seen in the National Gallery of Umbria. Perugino was the teacher of Raphael, the great Renaissance artist who produced 5 paintings in Perugia which today are no longer in the city and 1 fresco. Another painter, Pinturicchio, lived in Perugia. Galeazzo Alessi is the most famous architect from Perugia. The city's symbol is the griffin, which can be seen in the form of plaques and statues on buildings around the city. It is also the symbol of the local football club AC. Perugia. The timeline of Perugia. Perugia was an Umbrian settlement but first appears in written history as Perugia, one of the 12 confederate cities of Etruria. It was first mentioned in Q. Fabius Pictor's account, used by Livy, of the expedition carried out against the Etruscan League by Fabius Maximus Rullianus in 310. In 216 and 205 BC, it assisted Rome in the Second Punic War, but afterwards it is not mentioned until 41 to 40 BC, when Lucius Antonius took refuge there, and was defeated by Octavian after a long siege, and its senators sent to their deaths. A number of lead bullets used by slingers have been found in and around the city. The city was burnt, we are told, with the exception of the temples of Vulcan and Juno. The massive Etruscan terrace walls, naturally, can hardly have suffered at all, and the town, with the territory for a mile round, was allowed to be occupied by whoever chose. It is hardly mentioned except by the geographers until it was the only city in Umbria to resist Totila, who captured it and laid the city waste in 547, after a long siege, apparently after the city's Byzantine garrison evacuated. Negotiations with the besieging forces fell to the city's bishop, Herculanus, as representative of the townspeople. Totila is said to have ordered the bishop to be flayed and beheaded. St. Herculanus, Sant'Ercolano, later became the city's patron saint. In the Lombard period, Perugia is spoken of as one of the principal cities of Tuscia. In the 9th century, with the consent of Charlemagne and Louis the Pious, it passed under the popes, but by the 11th century, its commune was asserting itself, and for many centuries the city continued to maintain an independent life, warring against many of the neighboring lands and cities Foligno, Assisi, Spoleto, Todi, Siena, Arezzo, etc. On various occasions, the popes found asylum from the tumults of Rome within its walls, and it was the meeting place of 5 conclaves Perugia papacy, including those that elected Honorius III in 1216, Clement IV in 1265, Celestine V in 1294, and Clement V in 1305. The papal presence was characterized by a pacificatory rule between the internal rivalries. But Perugia had no mind simply to subserve the papal interests and never accepted papal sovereignty. The city used to exercise a jurisdiction over the members of the clergy. Moreover, in 1282, Perugia was excommunicated due to a new military offensive against the Ghibellines regardless of a papal prohibition. On the other hand, side by side with the 13th century bronze griffin of Perugia above the door of the Palazzo dei Priori stands, as a Guelphic emblem, the lion, and Perugia remained loyal for the most part to the Guelph party in the struggles of Guelphs and Ghibellines, but this dominant tendency was rather an anti-Germanic and Italian political strategy. Civic peace was constantly disturbed in the 14th century by struggles between the party representing the people, Raspanti, and the nobles, Vicarini. After the assassination in 1398 of Biordo Michelotti, who had made himself Lord of Perugia, the city became a pawn in the Italian wars, passing to Gian Galeazzo Visconti, 1400, to Pope Boniface IX, 1403, and to Ladislaus of Naples, 1408–14, before it settled into a period of sound governance under the signoria of the Condottiero Braccio da Montone, 1416–24, who reached a concordance with the papacy. Following mutual atrocities of the Adi and the Baglioni families, power was at last concentrated in the Baglioni, who, though they had no legal position, defied all other authority, though their bloody internal squabbles culminated in a massacre, July 14, 1500. 23 Gianpaolo Baglioni was lured to Rome in 1520 and beheaded by Leo X, and in 1540, Rodolfo, who had slain a papal legate, was defeated by Pierluigi Farnese, and the city, captured and plundered by his soldiery, was deprived of its privileges. A citadel known as the Rock of Elina, after the name of Pope Paul III, was built, to designs of Antonio da Sangallo the Younger at Coercendum Peruginorum Audacem. Our group visited Perugia for only one day, but we were able to see beautiful churches, sculptures, paintings, and experience the warmness of the people who lived there. We walked to the ancient streets of the city and wonder on how they built this stone city. One day I will have to visit again the city to know more about its rich history.